Stage 4 blackouts are currently in effect, despite Eskom saying that workers who are on strike are slowly returning to their posts. In fact, in the last few minutes, some breaking news coming in. Eskom confirming that from 2 o'clock this afternoon, it'll ramp up load shedding to Stage 6. It says it's because of a continuation of that strike and intimidation of those workers who've gone back to their duties. Let's talk to COPE spokesperson Dennis Bloem now about what the party sees as a way forward in dealing with the country's power crisis. And what you are calling for, sir, a very good afternoon, is an inquiry. What kind of inquiry and with what objective?
Good afternoon, Temekile, and the viewers. We are calling upon President Ramaphosa to institute an inquiry, an independent inquiry, headed by a judge, so that these allegations of sabotage must be thoroughly investigated. We cannot have these allegations hanging, because now and then we hear of sabotage. But we must say that this factional fights of the ANC is causing very serious problems in the whole of the country. The Eskom issue, it is infights that has brought the Eskom to this stage. You know, it is totally disruption of life. Now, you have just announced now that it is back to Stage 6. We can expect worse things to come if we are not going to act. If the president of the country does not act immediately, we can expect very, very serious problems in this country.
So what would an inquiry achieve, sir, that is different to, say, a police investigation? Because as Eskom has been saying, it's dealing with the issue of these suspected cases of sabotage, and those would then be the subject of a police investigation. So what would an inquiry that would be announced by the president do that's different?
No, we believe that these allegations is deeper than just a police investigation. The police will come in when there is not a long inquiry sitting for weeks or months or what. It can be a 2-month investigation, because there is the minister, Pravin Gordhan, was saying there is a sabotage taking place here. Petrol bombs have been thrown and whatever. The units have been set alight, and now it is a very, very important thing for us to have that inquiry, so that we must go to the bottom of this thing and find out who is behind this whole thing of Eskom problems, because it is totally disruptive. Nobody is living in peace under this load shedding.
Interesting that you said an investigation would help us find out who's behind this sabotage, but in your previous response you said we're in a power crisis now because of factional battles in the ANC. What evidence is there of that? What do you base that comment on?
No, you know, that the Gupta issue is at the heart of this thing. So, yeah, it is a fight between the RET forces and the CR17 forces. It is not difficult to see that, because the RET forces wants really to disrupt the entire country. They want to cripple this country. They want to go to the heart of the ANC. This is a fight for the heart and soul of the ANC. Nothing else can be given. That is the problem here.
But of course the issue of load shedding goes beyond and started even before there were these two CR17, RET factions in the country, in the ANC itself. Who ultimately should be held accountable, do you think, for that historic failure to prepare South Africa for what would be increasing pressure on the grid? Because the country was growing, there were more people who needed power, and it needed to be provided. Yet we know it's almost 15 years now into this crisis.
That's why we are saying that state capture is the main cause and the main reason. Now, state capture happened under the ANC government. You cannot say that they must stand one side and not take the blame, because it was their president who was in charge of the country under the state capture. It is very clear in the Zondo Commission's report. It is very clear that Eskom was captured. Now we are sitting with this problem that private people were busy squandering millions and millions of rands. That's why we are sitting. We are saying that state capture under the ANC government is to be blamed for what we are faced today, this load shedding. If there was no state capture by the Guptas under the ANC, we could not have had this load shedding that we face today.
We were speaking earlier with the Black Business Council. Its president, Elias Monache, said this. We have stated categorically that the CEO, Andre de Ruyter, the board, and Minister Pravin Gordhan, Minister of Public Enterprises, must take the fall. Do you believe sacking that list of people would be the path to fixing the problem?
You know, we don't believe sacking people will solve this problem. We believe, let us go into an inquiry. Let the president be brave enough and institute that inquiry. We will change people forever, and the problem will not be solved because we don't go to the bottom of this problem. We fully agree with Busisiwe Mavuso when she said, please don't blame that board. Blame the failure that the state capture under the former president, Jacob Zuma, with the Guptas. That is the heart and deep problem where the problem lies can begin. Not a change of boards. It will not solve the problem. I can tell you that is what we believe in.
What about the economic impact? I mean, I've just been saying now that we're moving into stage 6 load shedding. For example, if you operate a business and load shedding starts for you at that level at 2 p.m., that means you're not going to have power from 2 p.m. until close of business at 5 or 6. And ultimately, it's going to cost these businesses because they've been experiencing the same for 3 days in a row now.
Hey, you know, it is so painful because the economy of the country is taking a beating. You know, factories must close, shops must close. It's a mess because many people, thousands of people are going to lose their jobs. We are sitting with a crisis of unemployment. With this load shedding, stage 6, and there's talks of stage 8 very soon. Now, this is crippling the economy of the country. It is creating more and more unemployment. It is devastating. This thing, if a solution is not being found, we can expect civil unrest very soon, because this issue of load shedding, it disturbs and disrupts everything that has to do with the economy. This is economic sabotage.